But what I was doing was just trying to give people, I mean, at that time, I still had a relatively decent following on social media, 4 or 5 thousand people on most channels before I'd binned it off for a good couple of years. And so at that time, I was getting quite a lot of engagement. And so I just thought, look, I'm going to do this for myself, just as a keep me sane, to keep me busy, keep me active, keep me thinking. I'm going to set a photo challenge a day that people with a smartphone who can't get too far out of their house, maybe even if they live in a masonette or a flat or a bedsit, they could still photograph something. So I started a daily photograph challenge, which wasn't really, it wasn't a challenge in terms of you won something, it was a challenge in terms of challenge yourself to just go and do something other than worry. And so I just dragged a folder of photos from March 2020 that I've got that I saved. So I did use my camera because I had one, and I used my phone depending on what mood I was in that day. So what I'd do, I'd get up, I'd have a cup of tea, do a bit of work, get the phone out, do a video saying, right, today's challenge is going to be X, Y, Z. So, and I did all sorts of things. I mean, I did things like, God, let me have a think. I will look through some, and I'll tell you the kind of themes. The one I remember is, straight off the bat is the lines one. That's because that's what the boys take the piss out of me mostly. So the quest that day would have been find something in your house, flat, wherever you are, that shows either leading lines or straight lines or some kind of line that's a direction in the video. Shoot it, edit it if you've got an app on your phone, or if you've got a camera and you've got Photoshop, edit it and share your best work. So that's what people did, and it was great to see. But me myself, I had a great time doing it. I mean, this picture that you can see on screen, off the top of my head, will have been shot with a 7D, probably with a 50mm lens, to create that real shallow depth of field, which is nice when you're looking at, stuff that's not that aesthetically pleasing. I mean, if we look, probably zoom out to 35mm from that, or 28, it's just an horrible fence. I mean, our fence was decrepit then, not that much better now, to be fair. But when you get up close to things, suddenly they change. I mean, that from 10 feet away is just an awful semi-rotten garden fence, which can do with painting or taking down and replacing, actually. But when you get up close to things, you start to see that they have other stuff going on. So we can see grain, we can see pattern, we can see the lines. So then if I shoot it at a shallow depth of field, which some phone cameras you can, some smartphones you can, because they have adjustment function. How good or how close they are to real mechanical lenses, I don't know, but there's some function there. But you can make an interesting picture. So the theme for that day will have been lines, and that's what I will have created that day. That might have been a different day, actually, but still, there's lines. But within that, when you look at that picture, if we open it in Photoshop, and we can have a zoom in and have a look, even though I think this is only a low-res version. It is, because I'm rubbish at finding files. Let's look at that full screen. Come on. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more interesting than just a picture of a garden fence. I mean, I could have used the lines on the garden fence anyway, but that, to me, is much more interesting than just the fence, because you've got many of those things that we call, if you're a photographer and artist, you'll have heard of this, but those of you who have not, the formal elements within art. We've got line, tone, texture, space, all those other things that come up to make a picture. When you look at them, leading lines, straight lines, you can see texture in the wood, you can see texture in the depth of field, you can see texture in the noise that's on that picture, and all those things come together to make a shot. And just as an exercise to help people think about something other than stress and worry, doing daily challenges like this, certainly for me, I find it quite easy because I do a lot of it anyway. But for them, I hope that they got a bit of therapy, a bit of relief from it, and I know I did because I had some students and I had other people contact me and say, and there was a couple of days I didn't do it for some reason, I can't remember, it was like, oh, have you stopped doing it? Don't stop doing it, it's great. And the thing about being a challenge is it's a bit like self-motivation is difficult when you're having a bad time. And particularly, I mean, off the back of that time, mental health, people's mental health went so deep into the shitter. Even Ewan McGregor in bloody, what they call it, train spotting, wouldn't have been able to rescue you. That's how deep in the shitter most people's mental health was. And to get people out of that is extremely difficult and very personal to them, how they come out of it. So, I, using photography, because I'd already tutored people for, what, at that point, 15, 16 years at that point, with mental health, to use photography as a tool to try and escape it. I know because I got messages at the time saying, thanks for these challenges, it's great, don't stop. It's kind of like, it's difficult to challenge yourself when you're that, when you've imploded that much and your mind's not in a good place. If somebody else comes to you and offers you that thing, you're more likely to want to have a go and do it. So I did some ridiculous challenges during that time. This one here will have been photograph your kitchen sink. And the thing about photographing kitchen sinks is they tell you so much about the people who live there. Now, we're not posh. We're not a take your shoes off at the front door kind of family. We're not a, how dare you put your feet on the settee. When we got our 2 dogs and we made a conscious decision to, if we were going to have dogs, they were going to be a part of our family. They would behave, but they would be allowed to go where the family goes. And once we'd house trained them, it didn't take long, they're allowed to run their house. So they come on the settee, they go up the stairs, they jump on your bed. And some people go, oh, God, what? Dogs? No, but they're part of our family, so they go where we go, and that's just it. And we're clean. We bath every day, we do all that, but we don't get hung up in having a house like a show house. So it's quite often, Sunday morning, after we've had a few beers and the in-laws round on a Saturday night, the sink's going to look like a bomb's hit it, and that's kind of what's gone off here this day. And we've got it seems to be, even now we get, when we have presents, but Mother's Day, Father's Day, all that kind of stuff, we get cups. And we've got a cupboard, and we must have got 60,000 cups in our cupboard, and I keep buying more to give away. But I just didn't, I could have tidied the sink up, but what's the point? There's a story there. So there's dishes still there. There's a pan turned up. There's knives and forks and a whisk. We must have had something exciting if there's a whisk there. A couple of beer glasses. And it just looks like a tip. But that's the extension of our family the night after a few beers. So I kind of would encourage people to just go, look, don't give 2 shits about what your house looks like. Don't give 2 shits what anybody thinks of you. Go and photograph your life. Today's challenge is kitchen sink. So people were going out, photographing the kitchen sink, sharing pictures. And hopefully within that 5, 10, 15 minutes or whatever it was they were doing it, editing it and publishing it, they were getting a little bit of respite from the stress, worry, anxiety, misery that the government had put them in. And whatever else was going off in their life, I'm hoping as well, because we all have our own struggles, we all have our daily struggles outside of government interference. Whatever else they were doing in that period, I hoped that they were just getting a little bit of respite. Excuse me. And then where I could, I would go and comment on the pictures where I saw people sharing them. I'd go and comment them and say, hey, well done. Wholly positive feedback. It's not a critique. We're not doing a master's degree. We're just sharing our experience during a miserable time and hopefully having a little bit of respite from the day-to-day misery that's, been put on us. So when I look back at these, I'm not judging myself as a photographer. I'm just saying, hey, look at this, what I took during lockdown, because it was misery and it was just a way of keeping people sane. So it's just an honest picture. Again, I've taken it with the camera because I can see from the file of the kitchen sink that day. And like always in my pictures, I always do a black and white conversion because I just think black and whites are much more conducive to telling stories. They make people have to look a bit harder, think a bit more. Things aren't quite so obvious, but they also have that kind of instant past kind of feeling to them obviously all photographs are about the past, although Sigmund Freud and others will say actually they're about death, but that's for another podcast. This is just about, capturing a moment that's gone. And I think when you put things in black and white, it makes you feel like you're looking back, not looking now. And I think it's, if you look at the highlights, shadows, mid-tones, the juxtaposition of everything just slammed in there. I probably couldn't have set that shot up if I'd have tried that good. It's just an actual real interpretation of our family. Probably a Sunday morning, because we normally have a beer Saturday night. And it's just an honest picture. So I was trying to encourage people to do that. And like I said, people were actually actively doing that. And I did it for months and months and months. And I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed setting them. Let me see if I can find another interesting one. I was doing all sorts of crap at that time. That must have been some kind of show us your house or your rooftop or whatever it is. So that's the separation between our house and the neighbour's house. And, even that incursion of a camera there, isn't there? But it's just, look up, see what you see, share today's pictures, tag them as whatever it was. And again, people go and do it because after the first week or 10 days, people were starting to go, actually, this is all right, Lance, this is really something that's like, that I think might help me through certainly some of this. And I even did this one. I can remember one of the challenges was find a set of earplugs or something like that, and photograph them. And there's just a dirty pair of earplugs that have been worn and just left around the place and just got filthy. But you can imagine, can't you, somebody who's living alone, who's miserable, who's worried, who's got the telly on that's telling them death's at the door, and to just have a little something else to think about other than that, it can be a wondrous thing. And I'm not, painting myself as some kind of martyr here, because I'm not. I just thought that photography, everybody's under national lockdown. Most people have got access to some kind of digital device, whether it's a tablet, a laptop, a phone, or something. Anybody that's on my social network or in my family, set a daily challenge and just see if they can use it as a tool to get out of that mindset that most people were in. And they did. And I can remember a lady commenting on this saying, "Oh my God, Lance, I've got exactly the same earplugs." And I thought, I hope yours aren't as fucking dirty.